Welcome everyone to MEGAx Update 2. I'm going to wait for a few people to get in here. Let me know if I sound good. Got a little bit more of a setup here. Whoa, what just happened? That was weird. Do you see that? Wow, I've never seen that before on OBX. Can you do that and then... Make sure you thumbs up while you're at it, I guess. Can you guys see that? That's crazy. I've never seen that before. But yeah, let me know how the audio is. Right now, let me go straight through my audio capture device. If it's not loud enough, if it's noisy, let me know. And I can get that worked out. Now, we're going to do the MEGAx technical update 2 today. I really don't have anything prepared. The last update, I had a bunch of stuff prepared, but now you can see I'm just back in my shop. A 3D printer, which we'll look at later. But then we have the MEGAx parts under this little curtain, which I'm not going to show yet. We're going to get to that. But let me get the chat up. I don't know if many people will be watching at this time. It's pretty early on a weekday. But I'm off for break, so I have all the time in the world now. So first, I actually got to do some work on this stream while I am giving an update, because I need to figure out the final length of the casing, which I do know, but I'm going to go over it again because here is the casing. Right now it's about like 2¼ feet, but it will need to be cut down to a little bit over 2 feet. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to get my stream working well, because I want to make sure my OBS... Yeah, I'm streaming in a new area now. So, all right, that's good. Yeah, so here's the casing for MEGAx. I'm also going to polish it. Well, not polish it, but sand it down to maybe like, I don't know, 750 grit, something, just because there's a bunch of nicks in it. It's doesn't look too nice. I bought the vinyl decal, which should be here in a week or so. That will say MEGAx, just like the SN series. But yeah, in today's live stream, we're pretty much going to be giving an update. If you want to ask any questions, you can. And then I'm gonna figure out the final length, which we'll look at in a second. Where is propellant? So I do need to take apart the whole propellant. It is 2 feet, but I'm still just going to measure it to fully ensure that it's correct. So I want to really make sure. Because once this casing's cut, casing's around $100. So I don't want to buy a new one. So yeah, here's the propellant right now. It's all shrink wrapped and then it's just taped around. There's also a bunch of paper towels in there. Really trying to prevent moisture. This propellant I made around like 2.5 months ago. So it's definitely my oldest propellant. For the SN series, I hope you can hear me over this. For the SN series, the oldest propellant I had was probably like 2 weeks old. This propellant's been sitting for like 2.5 months. So it's old, but that's good because it's sitting is drawing out all the moisture and it actually turns like this oxidized color. Um, this like whitish color goes over it. So that happens when it gets very dry, which we want really dry because that improves the specific impulse of the propellant. Yeah, now I'm pulling off all this tape. That's how I package it. And here's the whole bag. I really hope you guys can hear me over this. And here's the actual propellant grain in there. We put on some gloves for safety. Realistically, I mean, potassium nitrate isn't dangerous for touching too bad. But we'll follow all the proper safety precautions. All right, I will undo this vacuum bag. This thing's heavy. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a crazy test. Whoops, I accidentally dropped my microphone off. Get this off. There we go. You can see there's some bulges. These are actually silica gel packets in here. There's one right here, here. So all these silica gel packets are hopefully, um, keeping the moisture content low inside this vacuum package where there's no air. So let's open it up. This is like a late Christmas present. I really don't think I need an X-Acto knife. But yeah, pretty much I just usually grab it, start ripping it around. This is packaged a very specific way on how I do it. So I will need to repackage it, which is not fun. Takes a while. Take out these silica gel packets because I definitely can reuse these. I just unpacked this and repackaged it about a week and a half ago to check on it. Make sure everything's good. Let's cut off these. And also during this test, which I will need to eventually do, I'm also going to have a liner defect test for, you can also see there's silk gel packets inside the core. Because realistically, possibly on the next static fire, I will pour the grain in sections and see how that works, because I know a lot of people have told me to do it in sections. But with the SN series, it was actually way quicker without sections. And for my first try, I really don't have too many air bubbles in this. I think I was at 97% propellant, which is really good, honestly, which is way better than I thought was going to get. But yeah, I need to test if those defected areas. Oh my, oh no, a silicone gel packet broke open. I do not want these pieces everywhere. Oh boy. Okay. This is a pain. All right. Clean up all these beads. I don't want these beads everywhere around. Impossible to find. They're clear as well. Okay, so got another silica gel packet here. Which will probably replace that silica gel packet. I'm just gonna throw it out. Slowly but surely. Also, if anyone has questions, make sure to ask them. I can answer all of them. Then after I finish this, I'll do give a little bit more of an update on static fire. So I've been planning out a lot for how the static fire is going to go because it is coming up very quickly. All right. Here's the propellant grain. There is also a paper towel core um, all the way through the center, but that doesn't really matter because I just need to measure the outside just to ensure that it is exactly 2 feet. Use that 3D print as a little stop. You just will want to roll. Yeah, so it's actually a little less than 2 feet, which is fine. I just need to check right now because this casing can be any length realistically. Grab my phone, go down in my notes. All right. So what are we looking at right here? So it's about 23 and 7/8 inches. We are working in inches today. Just roll it around to make sure. In another point, it is exactly 23 and 7/8. Yeah, so we're looking pretty good. We're also going to add a tolerance into the casing where there'll be a little bit of a section because we don't want everything jam-packed fully together. We got 23 and 7/8, just to the end of the propellant, which looks pretty good. Let's just check it in one more spot because we want to make ensure. Because I did for the SN series, I did need to shave down a little bit. Yeah, so we're right there. 27 and 7/8. Now that we got the length of the propellant, we can pack this back up. Where do we? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Need to get some more silica gel packets. All right, now it's time to pack up. Let's grab these paper towels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets of 5 of them. These back here. Pretty much going to go just like this, where it's a little overlapping, and roll up. Then one of the last rolls, we'll put one silica gel packet there, one silica gel packet there. The reason I put the silica gel packets in the actual paper towels is because with the vacuum bag, you can't just put the silica gel packets in because then it will vacuum around them and they won't be doing anything. So they need a source to get to the actual propellant. It's crazy to think this is the last time, hopefully, well, let's hope that I will need to package up this propellant. And I'll stand it up like this. May not be able to see this for a second, but just gonna put this, wrap this over. Now we got it all capped off. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we're having. Because this propellant cannot be out for long. It will start to get nasty in the humidity down here, which is not good. All right, roll this side. Add 1 silica gel packet. Add the other. All right. A little bit of tape. Stand up on this side. It is a little wobbly, so I'll hold it. Flip this. And all right, now we got both sides. Now let's go here and do the middle. All right. Now that the middle is done, this is definitely not my best wrap job, but it'll work just fine. All right. Tape this down. Maybe these paper towels are coming apart. They usually don't do that. What's going on here? All right. Now I'll do some tape around it. This. Take this little piece off. All right, this is how we're looking. It's all taped up. Paper towels around it. Hopefully pull out the moisture with the silica gel packets. Now we got to put it back in its bag. Oh no, these. I'll show you. I'll show the parts for MEGAx in just a second. Let me just get this done. All right, now I'm gonna seal up the bag. Whoops. These vacuum bags are really nice. For the SN series, I did not have them. I just need to use Ziploc bags and try to get all the air out. But these are very, very nice. All right, this is all sealed. Now I'm going to go over here. I'll be back in 1 second because my vacuum's over here. I'm going to also mute myself because it is loud. So just give me 1 second. All right, I'm back now. We got it all vacuum sealed. And now I like to just wrap it up because this bag is oversized. I couldn't find a bag that perfectly fits, so wrap up the bag just like this. All right. You gotta get this side all folded up. All right, there we go. Here's the propellant all packaged up again. We'll put this down where I keep the propellant, right next to the test stand right now. All right, so now that we have the length of the propellant, you go to a calculator real quick. So Can you hear me now? Testing. Test, 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 test. Let me know if you can hear me now. I think I got it back. Um, can you hear me now? Okay, I think you can hear me now. Thank you for letting me know. Interesting. But yeah, so okay, perfect. Well, I was talking a lot, and I guess nobody heard it. But yeah, so right now I'm just measuring the part of the nozzle that is going to be inside of the motor. I'll also cross-reference that with the real nozzle. I'm going to first pull it from the CAD drawings. So we got 2.018. So we'll assemble the actual nozzle right now. Not fully, but we'll assemble it partially. It's got it flipped over, then we got the graphite section. Here's how the nozzle looks. Looks really cool on the inside. You can see the graphite throat. I'm really excited about this. Really excited about the graphite. First time using graphite. Let me grab my dial calipers. They turn on. I think the battery's getting low. Zero them out, and now let's very carefully measure. Yeah, so it's yeah, the graphite nozzle is looking really cool. This graphite wasn't perfect for rocketry, so this graphite may break. Oh yeah, and also finally the 3D printer. I got the Bamboo A1. I've been playing around with it. I got it yesterday for Christmas. Um, I'm gonna do some jigs with it later. This is already a jig that I made, but it's not correct. I just want to make this jig to see how it came out, which is pretty good, pretty strong, pretty durable. Um, okay, so let's get back to measuring this because I do actually need to measure this because this casing is going to get cut in about an hour. 2.03. What does the CAD say? 2.02. So 2.02. I'm just doing it all in the decimal forms, and then I will convert this into the closest fraction just so the person who's actually going to be cutting this, because I don't have a good miter saw or chop saw, so I need to make sure it's at 0 degrees so it doesn't uh, cut the casing at an angle. I'll convert this into an actual fraction so he's able to cut this. So I can give him a huge decimal point into the thousandths place, but that's not needed. Okay, let's now go over to the bulkhead. MEGAx parts, V1 bulkhead. So also, I'm very scared of this. I don't want this. I don't want this to break, the graphite, because it is very brittle, which scares me. So, all right. So the bulkhead is 1.785 inches. Let's verify that with my dial calipers in real life. Yeah, that looks pretty correct. So 1.785. Now we have the decimal places of how big the casing needs to be. So I'll add these up real quick. Let's just verify it one more time. Got to verify 10 million times. 2.018 and then 1.785. And that's just the area that will be inside the casing. the nozzle area outside obviously does not need to be equated for. Zoom this out, go right here. Yeah, so it's just about where we're at. Actually go, yeah, two, and then I'm also going to factor in a little bit of tolerance because the grain may be a little longer in some areas. It won't be perfect. So I will add these numbers together and then I'll add in a tolerance. So we got 23.875 plus 2.02 plus 1.785. 27.68. That's how long the casing needs to be. But that's before the tolerance. So let's let me just do this real quick. All right. Now we gotta factor in how much of a tolerance we want, how much large do we want the casing. This is not a number I really have in my head or something or anything. But I was thinking possibly like 1/8 of an inch, which will visualize this right here. I can visualize if I can get to it right here. So about the casing will be about this much larger than it needs to be to account for anything that's not perfectly square. So 27, so 0.68. We got to convert this to a fraction now. So let me do this. Let me get a better thing. I'm writing on a paper towel. This is a very very interesting live stream. I just thought about this last night and I wanted to do an update, but I actually need to do work on the updates. So it wasn't a full update like last time. So 27 and 5/8, right? Yeah, so 5/8 is about 0.625 and this is 0.685. That is smaller, but we're factoring in 1/8 of extra thickness. So which hopefully okay, so I'm just trying to think here, sorry. Just trying to think. Also, ask any questions. If you have any questions, let me know. So we do want to add 1/8 of extra length, which isn't, it looks like a lot, but that won't be too much when you're considering the casing is this large. It'll just be a little bit on the end. That'll also just give me a little bit more room just in case the propellant doesn't fit perfectly. Yeah, so that would be 27 and 3/4 final. So let's go here. So that gives me about this much room of tolerance. I think that should be good. This is all about, I think it should be good. I think. Um, yeah, because this would be 27.75. And without tolerance is 27.68, 27.75. I also do have some techniques about shaving down the propellant a little bit, but I'll just do that if we come to that. So yeah, let me just check this over one more time because this casing, once it's cut, you can't add on to it. So at 27 and 3/4. Let me see how that looks. I bought this casing like probably 3 months ago more. So how long is this actual casing? Because I will get a little bit cut off. I did get it larger. Just yeah. So this casing right now is 30 inches. It's be down to 27. So that also gives me a nice practice chunk for the 3D printing the jigs because I will practice drilling these holes into the casing to make sure all the holes for the radial bolts line up before I actually do it on the real casing. Yeah, so I think we're looking good. I think we're looking pretty good. The exposure is quite high. Let me see if I can. Yeah, the ISO is cranked right now. Yeah, but I can't turn it down. Sorry about that. But okay. Yeah, so got the casing length 27 and 3/4. Put this out here. That casing will get cut today, and then I will sand down the outside. Just really not. I don't care if it's rough. That's not going to affect. Oh, is the camera very blurry? It is very blurry. What is going on with this? What is going on? Cancel. Okay, hopefully that's better. What's going on? Please let me know if anything goes wrong. Let me know. Also, if you're watching, if you haven't liked yet, make sure to do so. Um, yeah, so we got the length. I still want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, so 23. Let's go right here. Calculator. .68. Yeah, okay. Casing is good. You can put this away. I'll show anyone else is new in here. Here's the bulkhead for MEGAx. It's huge. For comparison, Here's the flight bulkhead for SN4 because SN4 was possibly going to fly. Here's the flight bulkhead. Pretty much the difference between the SN4F. The difference between the flight bulkhead and the test bulkhead was just the test bulkhead has a big hole in it for a pressure transducer, and the flight version doesn't. Also, the test version is made out of stainless steel for better durability and better tapping into with MPT threads. But yeah, here's SM5's bulkhead. Here's MEGAx's. Right there is crazy how large. I mean, bulkhead could just sit inside of the MEGAx bulkhead. Crazy, but really excited about MEGAx to finally test it. It's been a long time. Okay, yeah, so that's crazy. Here, I'll put this back. I can show you the nozzle. I have SN4 nozzle, but if you know the SN4's nozzle got destroyed during the test, so I actually have another SN4 nozzle. This one was built wrong. You can see the O-ring groove is not deep at all in it. I don't know what, like that. O-ring groove isn't deep enough. I received this nozzle and it was built wrong. So I have this nozzle. The other nozzles that survived are on the models that I have in my room. And then here's, and this is anodized aluminum. If it's not all made out of graphite, it does kind of look like graphite. And then yeah, here's MEGAx's nozzle compared to. It is crazy. You can sit. We can have a double nozzle type of thing. I wonder how that would work. That would be crazy. A double nozzle. Maybe something I should try. Obviously, I don't think it would do too well, but all right, let's take these nozzles apart now. Bang. The graphite insert will be secured in there with RTV, room temperature vulcanizing silicone. I'm only going to put a little bit because I realistically want to be able to get this insert out if something goes wrong. So say the insert cracks and the actual nozzle is fine. I don't want to need to get a whole new nozzle. I'd love to just chip out the graphite and peel off the silicone and be able to just to get a new one and put it in. Um, I'm a little scared with the different thermal expansions of different materials with the graphite and the nozzle because graphite is snug in there. There's not too much room. There's a little bit of room on the nozzle end, but not too much. Because we don't want too much room because we want it to be a smooth transition to the with the airflow to the graphite from the aluminum. Well, yeah, so I mean, realistically, MEGAx is hopefully going to be like 99% reusable. The only thing that wouldn't be reusable is obviously the propellant, which I don't really even factor in because with a solid rocket motor, it's impossible to reuse the propellant. And then just the O-rings. Pretty much the O-rings is the only thing that would need to possibly be taken out and reused, or taken out and new ones in. I know, I mean, possibly with my other rocket motor in my SN series, some of the O-rings are questionable to be reused. You probably could reuse them, but it's just, I mean, these O-rings aren't too expensive. They're honestly, I mean, expensive to be O-rings. Each O-ring is like $20. But I would just reuse them, rather be safe than sorry, because some issue with the O-ring, the whole motor is toast, and then it's done for. Here's the O-rings. Gotta put these on sometime. Here's the O-rings in the O-ring groove. It's actually something I haven't tried yet, but here's how the O-rings are looking. It's gonna be hard to get these O-rings in. It's gonna be tough. Because these O-rings are really thick, which is good because it gives a bunch of seal, which we also have 2 O-rings. None of the SN series had 2 O-rings, except for SN1, but that really didn't count as 2 O-rings. The second O-ring was just for alignment. The second O-ring didn't do anything. Yeah, here's this O-ring. This is a test O-ring. Won't go in now. This is a cutoff section that I have of the casing. Won't go in now, but there's no lubricant. I got lubricant coming, I think, tomorrow or Monday or Sunday. We'll leave that O-ring on it. Who cares? But yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to ask. I think I'm gonna leave here in a minute. I gotta mess around with 3D printer. We can actually, I'm new to 3D printer, so if anyone's here, could be some tech support, let me know. So right now, I have PTEG in here. I'm gonna load this right now, actually. Turn on. I'm trying to print something with PETG, but the actual, the benchy boat or whatever you want to call it, did not work with the PETG, right? Yes. Let me load this filament. We're gonna load it real quick. Yeah, I have a few mounts I gotta make later out of PETG. Because these will actually be mounts. It's not really a mount, but it's more of an adapter. I make so many adapters. An adapter for a mount that I have because I will need to eventually, when it comes closer to launch day, drill some holes in the concrete on the bottom of this test chamber to actually anchor this test stand into the ground so it doesn't move anywhere. So we're heating the nozzle right now. Here we go right here. It's a good view of it. All right, did any filament come out? We're going to say, I didn't really see any filament come out, so let's just retry and all right, that's looking good. A little bit of filament came out. Continue. All right, then we'll spit a bunch out to purge it. The last film I did have in here was TPU, so it's not really purging much. So we got to figure out this. It doesn't work too well. It doesn't work as good as it looks on. Oh, yep, see, it falls off. It always falls off. Yeah, I'm going to be 3D printing some TPU. Honestly, I could do it in PLA, but TPU is a little stronger, so I'm going to work on this. I got to go, so thanks for tuning in for the MEGAx update. I didn't, oh, okay, a box fell. But yeah, so I didn't have too much to say, but there's a lot I'm working on. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot in the future. The test is going to be January 7th through the 11th. That is the window, so no earlier than January 7th. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in the next video.